The Chapter 2 map is massive, so it's pretty hard to find elims, but this is how to turn that around. I'll show you the best routes and tips I have for getting more kills so you can drop those 10, 15, 20 bombs to rank up. But of course, the first tip I have is to find and know where all the rifts on the map are. If you haven't noticed yet, the Chapter 2 map seems to be way bigger compared to Chapter 5 and 4, or at least spread out in a way where it's difficult to find people. I mean, if you think about it, we had it lucky in the Chapter 5 map with launch pads scattered across the map, green dash water, a train that looped around the map, and a ton of rotation items like the grapple hook, wings, flowberry fizz, etc. But this chapter, we're back to the basic items, and there are no gimme rotations on the map, except for, of course, rifts. So make sure to use them. Here's a map of every rift on the map, and I'll show you 3 of my favorite high kill routes using these. So if you rock with that, please invest in the channel for more tips, pro breakdowns, and more. And of course, use code reidtheninja or another small creator's code to cop the battle pass during this historic era. But the best route for a high kill game starts at Misty Meadows. Here's the breakdown of why. In this Chapter 2 Remix OG era, you need to be landing at high density POIs. This is because a lot of people die off of spawn, therefore you need to be the one killing and receiving these eliminations before the entire POI is wiped out. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like every time I'm walking out of my spawn fights, there's only like 35 people left and it's not even zone 3. So if that 35 number mark is pretty much inevitable, you better be walking out with 3 to 5 kills already instead of landing off the grid somewhere, getting looted, preparing to battle, and by the time you're in your first engagement, a high kill game is already off the table. And I want to drill that into your head because you can't land super off the grid on this map. In previous chapters with all the rotation items and water, you could kind of get away with it, but not this one. So, if you need kills off of spawn, land at a high density POI, and I know that much is obvious, so why am I saying land at Misty Meadows instead of Lazy Lake for the southern part of the map? And the reason is the rifts. Like I said, for this video, I'm showing you the best route for kills, not just a POI. So we need to go through both Misty and Lazy, but the reason we want to start at Misty is because it's more southern and the rift is closer to it. Usually for the best kill routes, you want to start on the exterior and work your way in, since that's the general direction that most people move. So that's why we want to start at Misty Meadows and then move on over to Lazy Lake. Of course, we could just walk to Lazy Lake, but for a high kill game, we need to beat the invisible clock that keeps chipping away at opponents. So a rift will be faster and will be more discreet than, say, a car. So to the right of Misty, you want to come down to this bridge, and nearby there will be a rift to take. Or you can go down into the valley, and at the bend there will be another rift. You then of course want to hit this and go all the way to Lazy Lake, obviously, where there will likely be another brawl of people if you're not too late. If you are too late, you're going to only have like one team left and you'll be versing the king of the court, but if you can get there early enough, you'll likely be swooping into third-party 2 weak teams, because this place is always popping and always fighting. So if you're able to do that, it means you should be able to clean up relatively fast and move on to the next objective. From here, you got 2 to 3 choices. You can either jump down the waterfall and find the next rift to pop out of the sky. You then look for some more fighting, which isn't even a bad idea because a lot of people will congregate around the old agency, and you might find a build fight or 2 to drop on. However, I know that the real Chapter 2 ended years ago, but I still have this vivid memory back then of having some insane brawls at this gas station in River right here. I don't know what it was, but it happened every game, I swear to God. I think it's sort of the first unnamed POI you run into after leaving Retail Row and Lazy Lake, so people just gather here. So there's always people here, not to mention its proximity to Dog Pound and Frenzy Farm, as well as the fact that some people just land here. So another great place to find a fight, so that would be my recommendation choice from the 2 options. Assuming you're still alive, you can always check if there's another fight or just a person at the Dog Pound, and 9 times out of 10, there will be since it's the center of the map. You can then stay here, fight, maybe build up and get a lookout tower for more people rotating to the middle, or you can head into Risky Reels where, again, 9 times out of 10, there will be someone here if it's not too late into the game. So that's my ideal route, but we're not done yet, because that's only a really viable high kill route if you get a south to north bus path, which obviously isn't always the case. So my next tip is you need to be paying attention to the bus path. A high density POI is only as good as the bus route, so hot drop wherever it makes sense to. For example, if you're getting a northwest to southeast bus path, then hot drop Pleasant Park and get to work. You'll be able to get a good number of frags here, and then you can move on to this bridge rift, check the area from the sky, maybe hit Craggy or Frenzy. But honestly, because the north doesn't have a lot of rifts, it might be better to just hop in a car, drive down to Risky Reels, and find a fight there. Lastly, in accordance to this bus path, you might want to move into Salty or Dog Pound and get those mid-map eliminations. Right, I think you get the idea. Wherever the bus path is, there is going to be some sort of hot drop right underneath it that you can go to. And some will objectively be better than others, just like my favorite south to north pole. The really good one is that Misty Meadows into Lazy Lake. Okay. But there also seems to be an epidemic in Fortnite right now that as soon as you get shot, every player just seems to hop in their whip and drive away. So after finding your rifts and finding out your hot drop routes, you might actually be discovering people and finding a lot of people, but you can't actually kill them. So to stop these people from booking it away, this brings me to the ideal loadout for dropping 20 bombs or whatever a high kill game means for you. And this might sound insane, but hear me out. In an era where everyone is so comfortable rocking a 2-weapon loadout, be the guy using 3 to 4 weapons. And not only that, but be the guy that might be rocking 2 ARs. I know it sounds really dumb, but actually think about it. In seasons past, it's been absolutely necessary to dedicate a slot to whatever that movement item was for that season. Whether that was the grapple blade from last chapter, the katana from the chapter before, etc. But this season, there isn't really a necessary movement item that you have to carry around since it is just this OG loot pool. And honestly, even if there was, cars are still the best way to get around since they are in ranked now. So if we scrap the movement item as something that you have to carry, we can then carry one more gun. So that means you can carry 2 meds and 3 guns, or if you're getting really aggressive, you can do 4 guns and 1 med, which actually isn't a terrible idea. Now that supply drops are back, finding meds late game after a big brawl isn't too crazy, and not a lot of people go for supply drops anyway, so you can just find your meds across the map. So if you're going to actually do that and you're rocking 4 guns, I recommend obviously a shotgun, maybe a sniper or RPG, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then this is a hot take, but actually 2 ARs. I mean, maybe an AR and an SMG, but here's why I think 2 ARs helps me a lot with the car meta, or at least like an AR and a drum gun or something that has decent range and bullets. So like I said, they added cars back into ranked like the good old days, and they are a problem. I mean, not like Chapter 5 Season 3 of a problem where they're just OP as hell and have all the attachments, but they are a problem because a lot of people use them to just run away in. So that's why I like carrying 2 long-range spray weapons. The cars in this season are the classic ones with not a lot of health, therefore we're not dealing with the 1000 HP G-Wagons anymore, meaning we can actually spray these cars to death with about 2 magazines worth of ammo. Even better, once you shoot a car down to about 30% health, the driver will usually hop out anyway and start throwing up builds, so you don't even need to blow it up most of the time. And having 2 long-range spray weapons is essential because instead of reloading your 1 AR and letting them get out of range, I can instantly swap to my secondary AR or drum gun and continue to keep up that pressure. And if you've been enjoying so far, please invest in the channel if you think my content is deserving of more than 25k, and use code reidtheninja or another small creators code too to help out the Fortnite comm. Okay, and no clickbait, but this season is your chance to hit Unreal because of the changes Epic made to ranked for this season only. That's what this video is about. I show you the actual facts and data to back up the changes, which will allow you to hit Unreal or at least your highest rank ever. So pay attention, but like I said, the helping hand gets removed next season, so check it out while it's still easy. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much for 26k, and on that note, I am signing off.